Hello world. Hello returning subs. According to YouTube, it says there's like 535 of you still subbed here, even though I haven't put out a video in nearly 2 years. So I don't know, we'll see how many of you are actually still here. Anyway, if you really have been sitting around waiting for more for me to yap about, your patience is about to be rewarded. Because, yeah, for a whole bunch of reasons, I'm going to be returning to YouTube full time for the remainder of time, depending on how long that is. We'll see. And I do apologize for my sudden exit a couple years ago there. Trust me, it wasn't you, it was all me. Like, really, seriously, it just... really, long and short of it, I ended up getting discouraged because I wasn't able to accomplish what I was trying to accomplish on there. And in a nutshell, what I was trying to accomplish was to share information and real truth about the Mandela Effect that only me and Lori have. Like, my wife and I, we really truly do have information and knowledge about the Mandela Effect that nobody else has. At least if they do, they sure ain't saying nothing about it. And that was really what all we were trying to do from the beginning, but didn't know how to do it and whatever. Just, it was all, is what it is. The timing wasn't right. We've learned a shit ton since then. I'm trying to learn how to do better videos and things. We'll see how that goes. But really, it's just the state of things out there with all the knowledge we have of what's going down and where it's headed and where we appear to be in the storyline. That's kind of making it urgent to get back out here and see if we can help somebody. But anywho, I'm getting sidetracked here. I wrote this all out so I wouldn't frig it up, and here I'm already lost. So, okay, where are we? Yeah, okay. Anyways, as far as having a bit of insider info into the Mandela Effect, obviously I can't prove it to you in 5 seconds or 5 minutes or 5 sentences. If you really want to know the truth, it's gonna take a little bit of time. And sorry, there's no other way to do it, because a lot of stuff, yeah, we can just offer you, boom, here's the proof. A lot of it is stuff that we lived, we experienced, and there unfortunately were no direct witnesses, but again, there will be corroborating, what do they call that, circumstantial evidence or whatever, I guess, like enough stuff in many cases that you should be able to believe us. And that's part of why the website and stuff is set up the way it is, because a big part of this is gonna just come down to you people believing us or not, and you're gonna have a lot better chance of making the right decision the more time we get to spend together. So I really hope you'll come into the research lab and we can hang out and chat and research together and stuff and really truly get to know each other. But anyways, I'm sidetracked again. So yeah, that's probably going to be a common theme, so I hope you're not in a hurry, because really, like I said, we can't do this fast. This story, this truth we have to share, it really does go all the way back to our childhoods. Like for me, for sure, to like 4 or 5 years old, where there's things that tie 100% into the Mandela Effect and what's going on here. But anywho, I digress again, for fuck's sakes. Okay, anywho, if we wrote a book, it would certainly be mistaken as fiction. And what we have to share is far too important to be mistaken as fiction. It's just the way it is. So this YouTube channel is only a limited extension of the website, really. To benefit the most, you're going to have to get in the habit of using the website in conjunction with this channel. But really, as censorship continues and stuff, I'm not going to be able to post most of the videos to YouTube without getting friggin' copyright strikes and bullshit strikes that I don't know if you're aware of it, but you wouldn't believe the shit that YouTube channels are going through with getting whacked one after another just for telling the truth about subjects. A guy down there interviewing witnesses, survivors from some of these California wildfires, and just posting their friggin' truth, their eyewitness account of what they lived through, their first-hand testimony. You can't put that on YouTube without having your channel whacked? You fucking kidding me, people? And shit like that is why I'm coming back. But anyways, I'm lost again, for God's sake. Okay, where are we here? So yeah, anyway, as it's only going to get worse, the censorship and shit. So as that happens, we'll be pulling back from YouTube and onto my website, where we can have our own space for a little bit longer. Anyway, yeah, like the website, you'll enjoy it if you get to using it. Like, it's designed to be really interactive. Even the material I just post on there on the static pages, you can comment on all of it. It's kind of as much a blog setup as it is a website sort of thing. They're kind of really intertwined. And then I've got, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. Well, actually, here it is. Okay, the information posted on the pages of the site, it's not really intended to be the final word on anything. I mean, some of it, you'll discover, even if you want to debate it, that it is the final truth. But that's not the way it's intended to be. Just look at it as a good starting point for good, honest dialogue, especially if there's something you don't agree with or don't understand or just doesn't sound right or whatever. Maybe we do have it wrong. Maybe you can help us. So give us a chance. Come. That's what they're calling it, the interactive research lab, right? It's actually a third-party software I had to pay for, and there's like a monthly fee and shit, but it's going to be worth it. It really should become the guts of the website. Like, everything good should be produced in here, really, but it's basically just an area like a chat room or whatever, but way more, like where we can get together and share screens and shit too. That's the thing. It's not just me having a whiteboard to work on and being able to share my screen and yap at you guys, but I can let you share your screen instead of trying to explain something. I can pass it over to you so you can show us, and I can hand you the mic, and you know what I mean? Like, it should be a really, really good opportunity for all of us if people decide to take advantage of it. And really, it's the only way it could go, because we're talking a story 50-some years each of stuff here, right? So there's just way too much we'd waste the rest of the time we do have left here trying to just put it all out there. We can't. So the best thing to do is go to the website, go to each page in order, read it from start to back like any other book or magazine, so it makes more sense, right? Go through it, familiarize yourself with the positions we've taken on the topics that we cover, they tie tightly into the Mandela Effect. So understanding them will help you understand the Mandela Effect way better. So that's the thing. You go through it, and you don't have to agree with everything or disagree, whatever. Just go look at the information, and I'm sure you'll have a shit ton of questions. That's what the research lab's for. Bring your questions in there, and we'll walk it through. We'll go look at we'll do the research together, see what we can dig up, what we can find, and hopefully with many heads working on one problem, we're gonna come to some right answers, right?
Directed energy weapons. Are they real? Let's take a look at an incident in China in 2015. In August 2015, two massive explosions in the port of Tianjin, North China, killed hundreds of people and left thousands injured. Be sure to pay close attention to the burned vehicles in China and all the other burned vehicles I'm going to show you. Officials still insist it is not clear what triggered the blast and that they're still investigating it. Napa, 2017. Notice the burned vehicles are just like the ones in China. New York, 2001 Twin Tower event. Notice the burnt vehicles in New York. They look exactly like the burnt vehicles in China and Napa. Not only are these vehicles burnt to a crisp, but just like Napa in China, these vehicles were parked very, very far away from the actual explosion itself. A documented military test of directed energy weapons. Notice the beam coming out of the sky. Since the 1960s, few weapons have held as much promise as the directed energy weapons, or DEWs. In 2017, the directed energy weapons market was valued at $1.67 billion. By 2025, that market will grow to $4 billion.
They're just a whirlwind, fire. But very strange indeed. Skip and jump.
It was a wildfire, so it was spreading through the vegetation. Okay. Now, the vegetation here still got its leaves on, and all the thin branches, which should have been the first ones to burn, are still there. And yet, the heat was so intense, it was able to completely destroy these vehicles. Look at them. All the glass is melted out, the metal's buckled and deformed. All the paint's burnt off. So it's an intense heat, and yet the heat was supposed to have reached the cars from the vegetation, the trees, and the trees are intact. Tell me what burns, what needs a hotter temperature to burn, metal and glass or wood? Obviously the wood would have gone first, right? This is exactly the same as Gatlinburg. Look at what it's done to the road. Okay, this is directed energy, microwave beam weapon from above. this is the same way that they brought down the Twin Towers sector.
Do you know what temperature glass melts at? Glass melts at 2400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now look at this. Tell me where this fire entered. Where did this fire come from? It's green around here. Maybe it came from here, but I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's all white. Where's the glass for these cars? None of these cars have any glass. And look at the wheels. See the bottom of the wheels here? I'm going to show you in a minute. When these tires melt, when cars catch on fire and the tires melt, they have these like copper wires sticking out from, or like steel belted radials, I guess is what they are. But look at this. This entire house is just gone. Here's some debris. But I mean, what is all this rust? Everything is rusted. The only thing that's standing are these stupid steel doors. You know, but everything's gone. There's no glass.
So this is from a YouTube channel, Theobald Jamson's site. Couldn't get the audio to work, but basically he's showing the Gatlinburg fires as compared to the 9/11 Judy Wood's dustification directed energy weapons evidence that she uses in her book. And he shows again how these cars were absolutely torched, just like we saw in the Gatlinburg, he's showing the Gatlinburg fire right here. And here you see the cars that were absolutely torched as well, just like 9/11, just like the Alberta Beast fires, just like China, just like the Madeira, Portugal fires, and just like the Santa Rosa fires. Here you see the homes again, torched down to the ground, nothing left, but the trees are still intact. The leaves are still on the trees. I mean, how can this be? So this is happening over and over around the world now. It's weather war terrorism, directed energy weapons. They can use phased arrays to use scalar waves to direct it anywhere they want, anytime they want. It's a new type of weapon that we all have to wake up to. This is weather war terrorism on Earth, on humanity. And now we're seeing here in Northern California, Agenda 21, disaster capitalist, former FEMA director James Lee Wood has taken over, and they're telling people they cannot rebuild on their homes unless they agree to their terms. Now here he's pointing out in this book, while the fires, the cars were destroyed so far, blocks and blocks away from the World Trade Center. I mean, here's the World Trade Center, and here on the East River, look at all these cars that were torched. These all in orange are where cars were torched, absolutely torched. And here they are just in a park on the other side. Now, how can this be if a jet planes ran into the buildings and brought them down like no other time in history? It can't be. The only reason this can be done is through directed energy weapons. Here we see the same thing on 9/11. The cars were torched. The cars were absolutely torched. So their evidence is here for us to see. It's happening all around the world, and we need to speak out and get educated about it. And also another thing he's pointing out here in this video, which I'll include in the show notes, is how in some of these cars the engine blocks were totally melted. The engine blocks. Think about how much heat that takes. But it was quick. The fires in Northern California, these homes were torched within an hour. Selected. The most selective fire in history. So let's get into the Northern California fires, and this is a good piece done by In Truth by Grace about what she saw from the Northern California fires.
Completely. This is a vineyard with probably millions of dollars. This is from the Leak Project. I won't play it because I don't like copyright strikes, but that's his video anyway. But you got it from Yahoo. This is millions of dollars of vineyard, apparently. But how come that one was spared? Like, wow, that's direct. That's precise stuff. If it was a fire, it would have burnt half into theirs, or stuff like that. Anyway, guys, you can see here a lot of people are questioning what happened with this fire in not only there, Santa Rosa, California, and there's other places now. It's doing the same thing. I thought this was interesting.
There's nothing left. There's not even a toilet bowl. or a bathtub or a kitchen sink. The rest of the stuff is all gone. This is impossible. This is just not normal. What on earth has happened here, people? Look at this glow. This is not a normal glow. This is not a normal glow. This is electromagnetic frequencies in this air. This is not a flame. This is not from a flame. See this halo here on the screen over here to the right? This is not there's something in the energy level in this atmosphere that is just completely messed up. You guys, where are the steel beams that held this house together? Where are the appliances? How come the plastic things are still in place?